Hey guys! So in this fourth and final installation of my series about Hyatts in Manhattan, we're gonna talk about a big one, the Park Hyatt. So Park Hyatt, as you sure know, is usually the highest, most luxurious hotel chain in the Hyatt collection. And the Park Hyatt New York is no exception here. Rather, it's one of the most important Park Hyatts in the world. It is also classified as a Category 7 Hyatt, which is the highest category, also higher than the other hotels I've reviewed. For example, the Grand Hyatt I think is Category 6, the Andaz Wall Street Category 5, and the Andaz Fifth Avenue is Category 6. My expectations were pretty high hearing about this hotel, seeing it, the website, and arriving there I was expecting the world. So let's see how that went. So for this video I want to actually turn it around and talk about the positive things first. So first of all, the location. The location is absolutely great. It's actually right next to the Central Park, albeit the entrance is not directly at the Central Park, but it's super close. It's also very close to Fifth Avenue and to Columbus Circle, so you can access pretty much all your favorite locations from there. Furthermore, what really surprised me was that the Park Hyatt actually offers an indoor swimming pool. And this is pretty big in New York, especially in Manhattan, where space is notoriously scarce. So that's a big plus, which none of the other Hyatts offered. Furthermore, the room that we had was quite nice actually. Design-wise, obviously you wouldn't expect anything else from Park Hyatt. It's very modern and spacious actually. You have all the amenities in the bathroom, including also a shower and a bathtub. And overall, it feels very nice in the room in general when we entered. Unfortunately, this is already it with the positive things. I could actually not believe how bad my experience at the Park Hyatt was. So let's go through it step by step. First of all, when we arrived, there was nobody who opened the door to the car for us or took the luggage. We were 3 people, so we had quite a bit of luggage. There was someone inside on the ground floor and he greeted us inside, but I think with a hotel of that reputation, you would expect someone to come out and give you a helping hand at least. To be fair, however, this was the same at the Andaz Fifth Avenue, so that might maybe be a more general New Yorker issue, although the Grand Hyatt, actually there was someone who helped us out of the car. Now when we entered the hotel, what you have to do is basically you take an elevator to, I don't remember, quite a high floor where the lobby is located. And again here it was very nicely furnished, it was very modern, the design was fantastic, but again the service was really bad. So while my father was actually doing the check-in at the reception, my mom and I were sitting in the lobby area. We were sitting on the couches. I was actually really thirsty and there was this beautiful big bowl of infused water standing there. However, there were no glasses, at least no clean glasses. There were a couple of dirty glasses on the couch table as well as next to the machine, so it looked like nobody actually had cleaned up for a while there. And we were trying to get the attention of the people behind the reception desk to just give us at least like 2 clean glasses so we could drink, but it really took a while, and again the service level there was really disappointing. You want to come into a hotel and feel at home, you want to relax on the couches in the lobby, but we just were quite surprised that it was rather dirty and that nobody seemed to bother to come to us and actually help us out. When we came into the hotel room, it was, as I mentioned earlier, it was quite nice. There were just a couple of smaller things about the hotel room itself that I didn't like. For example, we saw several stains on the carpet, quite large stains actually. It looked like someone probably had kicked over, spilled a Coca-Cola can here and there. So that was a bit surprising that they didn't actually have that clean up, because it was quite prominent. And at the same time, the view was pretty bad. So the Park Hyatt hotel rooms are directly facing another building on the other side of the road, which means that you don't really have a view. You pretty much just have 20 meters line of sight to the next big building. And so you kind of feel like you don't really have the privacy, I guess. It's just a bit weird to have another building so close to your own, especially when you have a big glass front in your room, so you could really enjoy the view. But maybe it was for the best that the windows were kind of dirty, so actually our room wasn't as visible to the people in the building on the other side. It was also a bit disappointing that within the room there were only 2 tiny bottles of water that were free for us, and the rest had to be either bought from the minibar or brought in externally. Given that these rooms go for easily a couple $100 a night, you would expect a bit more, especially when someone with the highest Hyatt status comes in. And now finally, one really big point is about the swimming pool and the spa area. While I was really excited that they have such a thing, because I mean it's New York, you wouldn't expect that, it was again service-wise really disappointing. So let me tell you what I mean. We came in and you have a couple of these lounge chairs where you can usually put your towel and relax a little bit. All of these chairs had wet towels on them, and it looked like someone was using these chairs, which was weird because you had around 12 chairs but only 2 people in the swimming pool. So what gives? There was also a staff member / lifeguard, but he seemed not very willing to clean up the towels of the lounge chairs that were not being used anymore. And so again, it's just this lack of being proactive that was kind of disappointing to me. We actually had to go to him and say, excuse me, are there any lounge chairs available? Because it looks like they're all in use. So after that, he started to clean up a bit and then bring us a bottle of water, and from then on it was a bit better. But my worst experience was probably at the breakfast in the little restaurant that the Park Hyatt has on the level of the lobby. Usually you would expect service in a restaurant to be quite good in the US because people depend on their tips, which is in itself not a good thing, I think, but that's for another video. However, when we came there for the breakfast, we were greeted by an old grumpy senior staff member who took forever to allocate us to a table, even though there were roughly 10 tables or so, and plenty of available ones. We were then served by another extremely unmotivated person who took forever to come to our table and actually serve us food and drinks. Additionally, it was really weird because they had a system that every waiter was basically responsible for a couple of tables, and I was trying to get the attention of a waiter, which I guess was the wrong waiter. It was not the one that was supposed to serve us at the table. So I waved at him and he looked at me while he was walking away. And this just seemed incredibly unprofessional. Why wouldn't you basically give me a nod and tell the waiter that's responsible for our table to come over? It was just really incredible and a constant theme of extremely sloppy service. And that really killed the whole experience for me in this hotel. This is not what you expect when you go to a top hotel. I mean, be that in Europe or in Asia, if you go to a top hotel, the service is sometimes out of this world in terms of being proactive and polite. And this was just the complete and utter contrast. Given that it's such an expensive hotel, it was really ridiculous that my experience was so bad. I checked a couple of reviews on TripAdvisor, and it seems like a lot of people have experienced the same issues. So while they also state that the rooms are quite nice and the location of course is great, they also say that it is amazing how bad the service is. And I think that the Park Hyatt in New York, as well as the other hotels, especially the Grand Hyatt, really have to work on that and really have to figure out how to motivate their staff, to train their staff better. Because if you're used to Park Hyatts in any other country, you will be shocked how bad it is.